Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence, and today with you, we're going to be getting into somewhat of a pickle, pun intended, because that is exactly what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you how to make your own pickled gherkins, pickled eggs, and pickled onions, all traditional staple items in any good and respectable British chip shop. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. As you know, we're going to be pickling today. We're going to be pickling gherkins, some onions, and some eggs. To preserve these items when they're in the jar, you will need some vinegar to add some sweetness. To counteract the sharpness of the vinegar, you will need some sugar. And then to add a more complex flavor to these items when they're pickling, we're going to add some yellow mustard seeds and some dill. Finally, as a Brit, I will always recommend that you get yourself a nice cup of hot tea to stay hydrated as you pickle. First things first, we're going to start off with arguably the most complex of the three things that we're going to be pickling. That is the eggs. And so we're going to see how many eggs fit into our jar. It's just a game I like to play. No, really, the reason we're doing this is actually to put them in and then find out how much water and vinegar we need to actually pickle them. I'll show you right now. So what I'm going to do is fill it with water and pour the water out so that I then know how much water and vinegar I need to mix together to pickle the amount of eggs that fit into this jar. It's as easy and as simple as that. Now I'm going to boil the eggs for a few minutes in preparation for the pickling process. Before you boil your eggs, make sure that none of them crack. I didn't, as you can see, and as a result, lost an egg. Once they've boiled, place them as soon as possible in a cold water bath to stop them from cooking further. As they sit in the water, crack the shells, allowing water to seep in between the shell and the egg. This will make peeling the eggs so much easier. To begin the process of pickling our onions, we're going to do the exact same thing that we did for the eggs. I've peeled these small onions here, and then in they go to the jar that I would like to use. I'm going to see how many fit in, and then fill it up with water, and then pour that water out into a jug. Look at the jug, and then as if by magic, I know exactly how much water and vinegar I need, just like the eggs. Just as you've done for the onions, do the exact same thing for the gherkins. To sterilize our jars, I've emptied them, put the lids in some hot water, and then once I've got hot water ready, I'm going to fill each of them with the water and leave the water to sit in them for a few minutes to kill off any of the germs that we don't want. So in this jug, I'm going to make the pickling liquid, and I'm going to mix water and vinegar together in here with a 1-to-1 ratio with respect to the volume of water that we measured for each of the items at the beginning of this episode. To all of these now, we're going to add some sugar to offset the sharpness of the vinegar. To the jars for our gherkins and our pickled eggs, we're going to add some mustard seeds. Now we're going to whisk the contents of each of the jars, making sure that the sugar has dissolved completely. Now I'm going to put these in the microwave and heat these up just to boiling point. If you don't have a microwave, or if your jars are not oven safe, then you'll have to heat the contents of these jars in a pot and then pour them back in. I've heated up all of the contents of these jars, and just to make sure the sugar has dissolved, I'm just going to give it a quick whisk. Into these two jars here, the one for our gherkins and the one for our pickled eggs, I'm going to put in some dill, and now I'm going to put in the eggs, the gherkins, and the onions into the jars. Guys, it is really crucial when you fill your jars and put the lid on just before boiling them in water to put the lid on the correct way. And the way to do it is to tighten the lid no more than you can with your fingertips, just like this, not like this. Because if you tighten it like this, you'll stop the gases inside from escaping. You want to tighten it just enough to obviously be fixed onto the top, but not too tight that the gas is inside when you heat it and boil it, can't escape. In the water, on a constant rolling boil, heat the jars for 30 minutes, making sure that the water level is roughly 1 to 2 centimeters below the lids. After which, carefully take them out and on your countertop allow them to cool completely before storing them in a dark, cool place. Tasting. Tasting. Okay. It has been a week, maybe even more than a week. I've left these in the jar to develop and absorb all of the wonderful flavors of the vinegar, the sugar, the dill, and yeah, let's pop these open. Oh, beautiful. Did you hear that? Guys, I've sealed this so tightly, it's ridiculous. Oh, okay. It's also a good sign. Not so dramatic. Okay, let's go for the pickled gherkins. A lot of people call these pickles. These are not pickles. These are pickled gherkins. Pickles or pickle to us Brits is something else. You can see, if you remember how they looked at the beginning, the color has changed dramatically. But here goes. Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh, yeah. Sweet, sour, strong. Got notes of the dill and the mustard in there. Really good. Super juice. This is perfect with fried foods. And for the life of me, I can't think of any famous British fried foods that this could go with. If you know of any, then just mention them in the comments, because I can't begin to think of any fried dishes that this would go well with. Anyway, let's taste the pickled eggs. Okay. The texture is interesting. The egg white has become somewhat crunchy. The yolk is still really creamy though. And of course, you've got the tanginess from the vinegar, the dill, the mustard coming through, a bit of the sweetness. But yeah, back in the day before fridges existed, this is how you preserved your eggs. 2 down, 1 to go. Okay. And by the way, any good chip shop worth their salt will have a massive jar of pickled eggs on the counter. Don't trust any of the chip shops that don't have one of those. Now these crucially should still be crisp. Shouldn't be a soggy, you know, tangy onion. It should still be a bit crunchy. Yep. Don't know if you can hear. There's still a crunch. Sweet. This might be my favorite out of the 3. I really like it. It's really strong though, and it's of course a particular taste, but yeah, really good, really good. All of these, like I said, will go with any fried British dishes. If you know of any, leave your comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in to see and learn how to pickle your own gherkins, eggs, and onions, and many other things. The rules apply to many other vegetables. If you liked this episode, click on the like button, subscribe to this channel, leave your comments and requests in the comment sections below, tell people about the brilliantly British food on this channel, and I will see you next time. All right, let's go. As you know, today we're going to be pickling 3 different, to sterilize them because that is a crucial Oh, my mouth just don't know what I'm talking about. How to make and pickle your own vegetables. I was gonna say vegetables and eggs are a vegetable. That would be really stupid. Eggs are vegetable. All right, mate. They'll just be like, yeah, all right, mate. Thanks for coming. See you.